Good afternoon. Happy Saturday, February 6th. Can you believe it? We're already in the month of February. Where did January go? Hey, you're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst. Yes, it's a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health problems. You know, I'm running on a high. We had a webinar today. Yes, we did. It was insanely awesome. And the cool part is I love taking moments to be able to teach and educate and inspire and coach. I've been up since the wee hours of the morning because I do this once or twice a month. And boy, we had a good talk today. Heart disease, blood pressure, cholesterol. So if you missed that, why don't you take a moment, go to our Facebook page, head on over to our Ask Dr. Ernst webpage, connect with us. We can send you a replay if you want to watch that or get connected. Look, if you have someone who's dealing with high blood pressure or cholesterol issues or, even like blood sugar problems, okay? It's all interconnected. And so we talked about how to break free from that. And I've got a ton of information today. We had more requests over the last couple of weeks for thyroid assistance. So today I'm going to talk about the real cause of thyroid. And if you're watching the show title or the descriptions in whatever method of streaming you're on, what is Hashimoto's disease? And what the heck does that have to do with thyroid? When in fact, you're going to learn today, it is the major cause of thyroid problems. So see, you walk around going, oh, my thyroid doesn't work. I take Synthroid, Levothyroxine, Armithyroid, Nature-Throid, whatever the medication you've been prescribed. And you'll say, I have low thyroid. And you might, but that's not the cause. That's the effect. It's kind of like walking around, man, I don't have any money in my account. Well, that's truth, but that's not the cause of it. You don't have no money because you have no money. You need to go work. You need to start investing. You need to start learning about what money is, and then you'll see your bank accounts climb. It's the same thing for thyroid, except they measure a different kind of money. They measure hormones. And so if you've got low thyroid hormone or if you have elevated TSH, it's an indication something's going on with your thyroid. But in reality, if you can hear me while I whisper, there's nothing wrong with your thyroid. You have a 90 to 95% chance it's not your thyroid. Even though your doctor has said it is, and even though you're taking thyroid medications, we're going to break through what is real answers for thyroid problems. And I'm talking about, I've seen clients of mine who fix a thyroid sometimes in 90 days. In fact, I had a client just last week who said, I don't know, I don't feel right. My body's shaking and I feel nervous and my hair's falling out. And she's like, I don't know, maybe my thyroid's not working right. And I'm like, what if it's actually fixed and the medication you're taking is now giving you side effects? Ran some tests. What do you know? Thyroid's perfect. Had to stop meds immediately. Boom, immediately. 90 days. That's huge. Just, a lot of women and some men deal with thyroid problems. But, a lot of women will be like, I've been on my thyroid pills for 10 years, 20, 40 years. It's because you're treating a symptom instead of fixing the cause. Today, we're going to talk about the cause of thyroid. I'm talking 90 to 95% of the time. It's not your thyroid. It's a disease that's really not even a disease. It's an effect called Hashimoto's. In developing countries like the United States, the estimates say 90 to 95%. Listen, 9 out of 10 people that have been diagnosed with low thyroid don't have a thyroid problem. They have Hashimoto's. What is Hashimoto's? It's a condition where your body has become confused and it stops converting the thyroid hormones properly, and it starts attacking and destroying the enzymes that make the hormone in the first place. So think of it like this. If you stop working, you're not going to make any money. Your accounts are going to go down if you keep spending. So what's the cause here? Is it the account balance going down? Oh my God, we should give you money to put your account balance back up. Hormones, let's give them to you. Let's build your account balance. While that might sound good, yeah, I want free money. You don't want free hormones. They mess your body up. Understand the analogy. If your hormones are dropping, oh my God, my low thyroid, don't just go in and give yourself more hormones. Figure out why you're not producing the hormones in the first place. Your body's not working. Please tell me you see the analogy. Really, really important. Pay attention today. I'm going to reveal what's causing thyroid problems. I'm going to reveal how to fix them. I'm going to talk about a thyroid diet and supplements you can start right now to make your thyroid 10 times stronger. And listen, I'm offering free consultations this week. 906-2094, 704-906-2094. The call is free. The conversation is between you and me. It's 15 minutes for us to solve your health issues. We have a few messages from sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Sterling believes in the science of CBD. Here's 3 great reasons to choose Sterling CBD. Reason number 1, Sterling is pure CBD. Sterling CBD is made from pure CBD isolate. We remove all the THC and unnecessary compounds, leaving only pure CBD. Reason number 2, backed by science. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, has approved CBD for U.S. Olympic athletes, but they only approve pure CBD, like Sterling CBD. Reason number 3, our organic hemp is FDA approved. At Sterling CBD, we quality control test at every manufacturing stage. We start with organic hemp plants and track them to our FDA-registered food-grade extraction facility. Our pure CBD products include capsules, isolates, lotions, and oils. We even have CBD pet products. You can find Sterling CBD at drernstscbd.com. Use the coupon code Dr. Ernst for 20% off your order.
So this is the difference between biodynamic and conventional farming. Let's look at the difference in vineyards here. You have very green grass and herbs and life growing, and then dead soil over here. So this is a conventional vineyard where they spray pesticides, they use a lot of tractors to pull up the soil. This soil is dead, it's dry. There's no life. This is Klaus's vineyard. It's farmed biodynamically. Everything is picked by hand and they don't use any chemicals. So there's life, there's green grass, everything grows. This is the big disparity between conventional farming and biodynamic farming, and you can see it perfectly side by side. We prefer this wine, of course, because this wine is dead. There's nothing living in it.
People are the heart of Jordan Essentials, and our products are the cornerstone. 100% of the population needs skincare in some shape or form, and of course there's a lot to choose from. So what makes Jordan Essentials different? We often like to say it's what we don't put in our products. We avoid harmful chemicals and pack our products with natural, botanical, beneficial solutions for you and your family.
How come there are people who drink a pint of whiskey a day for 20, 30 years, and at the end of it only 20 or 30% become cirrhotic? What happened to the others? And we speculated, we hypothesized, it's the enzyme, alcoholic dehydrogenase made by the stomach. Maybe it's different, maybe it's genes, maybe it's polymorphism. Mm-hmm. The answer appears to be coffee. If you drink that much alcohol and drink 1 cup of regular coffee a day, 20% reduction in alcoholic cirrhosis risk, 2 cups 40%, 4 cups 80%. It's not a license to drink heavily and drink coffee and protect your liver. You could still get Korsakoff psychosis, cardiomyopathy, pancreatitis, kill people on the road, ruin your marriage, but it does protect the liver. It's pretty amazing.
Here's a secret your grocery store does not want you to know. At ThriveMarket.com, get up to 50% off all your organic groceries, delivered to your door for free. Shop organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, and paleo. And get a free jar of coconut oil. Thrive Market. Wholesome products, wholesale prices. Get your free coconut oil today only at ThriveMarket.com.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We're coming at you live on the airways, 11:10 a.m., 99.3 FM, WBT, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever will allow us to stream. We're coming at you with great information. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Yep, pounds are shed. Yes, disease is dead. And yes, you can be set free, especially when we talk about thyroid issues. Okay, so it's a big deal, and a lot of you have been asking, how do I fix my thyroid? What am I supposed to take for my thyroid? How can I stop my thyroid meds? It's a big animal. It's big. And part of the reason I'm offering this week a free consultation is we have to talk. I got to ask questions. What's your TSH? Have you had your antibodies run? There's a lot that we need to know about you. So the call is free, and the information could help you to find the root cause of your issues, and you might be able to get off your medications, and you may be able to solve your symptoms. I'm tired all the time. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. I'm gaining weight. I can't lose weight. I'm cold all the time. My gut feels like it's going to explode. All my joints are achy, stiff, and my hair's falling out, and my eyebrows are thinning, and my skin's getting dry, and I feel like I'm getting old. Welcome to low thyroid, men and women. So we can fix this and we can solve it. So one option for you is just take action now. Don't just wait until, the show ends or until you go look us up and see, is this guy really a doctor? And what does he do for a living? And how does he do this? And what does it say? And does he have any bad reviews? Go look for it if you need it. All right, so 704-906-2094. What it is you're going to call in. My team's going to take your name, your info, and then I'll help you to schedule a time so we can have a conversation to talk about your health. Simple. You can also text it. That's also what a lot of people do today. So just grab your phone, text your name and your phone number and your information over to us. We like to get your name, your email, and your phone comes through, and then we'll call you, and we'll talk. We'll teach you what you can do. So 9 out of 10 people that have thyroid problems don't have a thyroid problem. They have this disease, if you want to call it that, called Hashimoto's. And here's the big thing with this. If you have Hashimoto's and you don't know it, your doctors are just going to keep throwing medications at you. More levothyroxine, more Synthroid, Tyrosent. I mean, there's so many different ones out there now. They're just going to start chucking them at you. And most people that I meet with say, I don't want to do this, but nobody can offer me a solution. So listen today. It's simple. You need to understand, though, that if you don't take care of it, what does the research say? Look, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but sometimes you need to hear the bad to motivate you. It's kind of like, what if I told you you have a 9 out of 10 chance you're going to die in the next week if you keep eating this one food? What does your brain automatically do? Oh, well, what is it? What food is it? See, unfortunately, you got to start bad to end good sometimes. And I hate to say it, it's just the way we've been programmed. Media, right? When's the last time you watched TV and you're like, oh, it's so nice. The fireman, saved a cat and the kid was happy. No, you're like 17 dead. Oh, I want to watch that. So here we go. If you don't fix your thyroid, that can lead to infertility. It can lead to thyroid cancer. It can lead to type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high triglycerides, heart disease, mental disorders, including depression and anxiety, and cognitive decline, physical damage to your brain that results in Alzheimer's, dementia, etc., kidney problems. Did you know that? We'll talk about that today. And infections, which we'll talk about. Now, what you might say to me, well, how would a thyroid problem cause me to be more infected? Well, you're going to learn today that the infection is what's causing the thyroid problems in the first place. Here's what's unique. If you want to fix this, you first have to just help your brain to understand you don't have a thyroid problem. But I know you think you have. I have thyroid disease. No, you don't. You have a condition that presents itself like thyroid. Well, I take thyroid medication, so obviously I have a thyroid problem. No, you don't. You've been misdiagnosed and your doctor's treating you medically by making your numbers look good on your labs. Oh, okay, I see it. So how am I supposed to fix this? You need to understand there's a cause for everything, including the diseases you have. And a thyroid is caused 95% of the time by this term called Hashimoto's. What is it? It is an autoimmune condition where your body has confused normal function for abnormal and is trying to turn itself off. I'm going to go into the science a little bit, so just try to follow along. You have to make thyroid hormones naturally by yourself. It requires iodine. It requires selenium. It requires a whole host of vitamins we're going to talk about today. But the two big ones are selenium and iodine. And you need an enzyme to put them all together. So think of it as like, here's the iodine. Here's the selenium. Here's an enzyme. And they go, and all of a sudden this hormone called T4 comes out. So if you're missing iodine, you can't make it. If you are destroying the enzyme, Hashimoto's, you have antibodies against the enzymes. Your body thinks the enzyme is an unnatural substance. So imagine if your paycheck just stops coming in. Well, what was going on? I'm working. Why aren't I getting paid? Well, somebody disrupted the process of transferring money into your account. The enzyme is destroyed. Will your account balance go down if paychecks don't come in? Yes. You're working. You're going, I don't understand. I'm doing everything right, but nothing's coming out. That's called Hashimoto's. So is there a problem with your thyroid? No, by definition. Is there a problem with the enzyme? Yes. What's shutting the enzyme down? Antibodies. Where do antibodies come from? Wait a second. That's like immunity, isn't it? You know, we're all going around wanting to get shots right now to be vaccinated against COVID to build antibodies so we can protect ourselves from the virus. But if you have antibodies to protect yourself from your thyroid hormones, what is that called? That's called Hashimoto's. That's called thyroid disease. But doctor's just having me take Synthroid and levothyroxine. Is that going to fix it? No. If anything, it's going to make it worse because what you're doing is you're filling your bank account artificially and you won't even know that you have a problem. Imagine this. You work for Verizon. I'm just making everything up. You work for Verizon. All of a sudden, you get checks in your inbox from T-Mobile. You don't work at T-Mobile. You work at Verizon. In the beginning, you're like, yeah, it's no big deal. I'm getting paid. But guess what happens when T-Mobile finds out that they're paying an employee that they don't have? And they're going to ask for all their money back. If you take hormones, it's like paying the piper to make everything look great. Eventually, all hell breaks loose. So what do we do here? What's really going on? Number one, you got to understand this, okay? Research says it's not your thyroid. It's the antibodies being produced against the enzymes and the hormones themselves, okay? So if you're making the antibodies, you think your body is virally infected or you think you're infected in your thyroid. And guess what? The newest of new research is saying that's actually true. You have an infection in your thyroid, more than likely a virus. You have an infection in your intestines, more than likely bacteria and yeast creating a leak. You have an infection in your liver, more than likely a virus. Or you have a condition called metabolic syndrome or liver toxicity, and you can't convert the thyroid hormones properly. So the roots are an infection in the thyroid, so we got to talk about that. An infection in the intestines, so we have to talk about that. An infection in the liver, and if you hear it, their antibodies are present because you build antibodies when you are infected. So a thyroid problem is a infection. Woo! Now maybe I'm just getting too excited because I've seen so many people struggle with thyroid problems get their life back when they stop treating their thyroid and they fix the infections that are causing them to have the diagnosis of low thyroid. Look, it even happens for hyperthyroid. It's just a slightly different antibody. So what's really going on here? A leaky gut is dysbiosis, an infection in your intestine. And Hippocrates was right. You go back to the father of medicine. He says, quote, all disease is found in the gut, and the spine regulates organ function. I don't know if that's what he sounded like. It just sounded like he's old, right? So he should have wisdom amongst him. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so listen, the research is showing when you have an infection in your intestines, dysbiosis, it creates a disruption of, ready for this, the gut-thyroid axis. Now, you might be saying, I've never heard of this thing. Well, guess what? The research is new. They are now showing, I have to read this because it's relatively new, that dysbiosis in the infection creates an immediate change in the ability for your body to produce the correct antibody response against infectious agents. In fact, dysbiosis is a common finding in people with thyroid conditions. Go figure. I have a thyroid problem? Yep, your gut's infected. You don't have a thyroid problem? Your gut's not infected. They're finding that the dysbiosis creates inhibition of an enzyme called deiodinase, which will make your TSH go up because you can't convert properly the correct thyroid hormone. So what your brain does is it says, make more, make more, make more. And that's the gold standard for an MD to say, oh my God, your thyroid's shutting down. Woo, I got a lot to talk about today. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a break and open up the call lines so I can answer your questions and help you to heal. 704-906-2094. You're calling to get a free call with me scheduled so we can figure out if you can solve this problem yourself, which you can. Okay, it's that simple. 704-906-2094. When we come back, how to solve this leaky gut thing, how to supplement the thyroid properly so you can get healthy, and how to fix a thyroid permanently when you realize it's not a thyroid problem. It's called Hashimoto's. Hey, it's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We'll be right back.
Sterling believes in the science of CBD. Here's 3 great reasons to choose Sterling CBD. Reason number 1, Sterling is pure CBD. Sterling CBD is made from pure CBD isolate. We remove all the THC and unnecessary compounds, leaving only pure CBD. Reason number 2, backed by science. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, has approved CBD for U.S. Olympic athletes, but they only approve pure CBD, like Sterling CBD. Reason number 3, our organic hemp is FDA approved. At Sterling CBD, we quality control test at every manufacturing stage. We start with organic hemp plants and track them to our FDA-registered food-grade extraction facility. Our pure CBD products include capsules, isolates, lotions, and oils. We even have CBD pet products. You can find Sterling CBD at drernstscbd.com. Use the coupon code Dr. Ernst for 20% off your order.
Today, Monticello has a population of 126. It's a small enough town, everybody knows everybody. There are no stoplights in Monticello, so if you're driving too fast, you're going to miss it. But if you happen to turn in, you're going to run across a great Protestant church that has services every Sunday morning. You can go to the post office, and the postmaster's name is Randy. He's always glad to see you. Everybody in town knows everybody. When you walk in the bank, you're called to by your first name. You're not just an account number. We've started the business there 10 years ago, and very slowly, surely we've built up a business that actually reaches out and touches all 50 states and several foreign countries. At the turn of the century, diabetes was almost non-existent. But if you turn the clock up 100 years to 2000, we have a runaway epidemic of diabetes. When I went to school, nobody had ADD. I mean, you look at the modern school today, you've got kids taking medicine, and this is all driven off a diet. And it's so simple just to get back to the foundations of good, healthy diet. And by consuming, grass-fed beef, organic vegetables, getting away from processed foods. This is a paddock move. These animals are coming into this paddock. This has been at rest for probably 30 days. And as soon as they come in here, you can watch their habits. They're going to put their nose down. They're going right after high quality forage.
What I've done here today is give them a fresh strip of grass controlled by this tape over here. This has given them a very consistent ration from day to day. This is an example of what they're getting to eat right now.
But you can just observe the humor of the animals. This is the happiest time of the day. I call it ice cream and cookies. Looking down on the ground, on the landscape here, we have a lot of clovers. We've got annual forages, perennial forages, and a lot of the native forages have come back. The blue stems, the Indian grasses, they're much more prevalent in June and July, but the old seed stock is here. But if we manage the landscape like it should be managed, 95% of the public has never heard of CLA, but it's one of the best kept secrets in agriculture in these grazing animals. You get it from grass-fed beef, grass-fed lamb, grass-fed bison. And you might ask, what does CLA do? A very unique compound, one of the best things you could consume from the standpoint of cancer. It's very effective against cancer. It's very effective against diabetes. Research out of Purdue has documented that. A lot of animal trials, now human trials. And most interestingly, it actually helps the body put on lean muscle and reduce fat. 90% of the cattle in this country or more end up going into a commercial feedlot where they're slowly converted from a grazing diet over to a starch diet. When you fill the animal full of starch, you completely change the chemistry of the finished product, and you end up with an omega-6-3 ratio 20 to 1, 18 to 1, and the CLA production is almost nil because of the starch diet.
I don't think that you can beat this example right here where the sun's energy is producing this grass, and this grass is producing these cattle without having any antibiotics, growth promotants, or grain fed to them.
Grass-fed beef is a unique opportunity for you to take control of your health. I've taken control of my health over the last 10 years. I feel better, I feel stronger. Our animals eat right, so you can too.
Purity Coffee is setting a new standard for healthy coffee. We lab test to be free of pesticides, mold, and mycotoxins, and we roast for high antioxidant and low acrylamide levels. When it comes to your coffee, purity matters. You will be able to taste and feel the difference. For first-time customers, we are offering 15% off new orders with the code YouTube. A lot of our customers say that purity makes them feel as good as it tastes.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst. And hey, listen, I love that you're here today. And we've been answering questions in relation to thyroid health and getting quite a lot. So look, if you don't know how to ask a question while we're in the studio, it's simple. Go to askdrernst.com. There's a button that says Contact Us. Quicker way and more accurate way and more direct answer way is to use the chat feature of whatever you're watching our stream with. So facebook.com/AskDrErnst, twitter.com/AskDrErnst, instagram.com/AskDrErnst, big one, YouTube, right? Ask Dr. Ernst. And there is a comment section so you can ask questions. And if you have a really big burning question about your health, maybe you've been on thyroid medications for 8, 10, 12, 15 years, and you had a recent check-in with your doctor, and you know how that goes, right? Well, I'm on 50 milligrams, and I left, and I'm on 75. I got to take more now. Or they're saying it's not working, and I need to try a different one. If you're looking for a way out, we say that it's a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, where you can be set free. If you'd like a way out, especially for thyroid, 704-906-2094. It's a call line so that I can get your information, and then we can talk directly. And listen, I can help you. We definitely can. I've seen hundreds of people break this whole thyroid thing, especially the hard ones, which include the root cause, the autoimmunity, the antibody destruction, the nutrient deficiencies. So what is really going on with the thyroid problem? If you've been diagnosed as hypothyroid, I'm here to tell you, you probably, 90% chance, and I'm talking like that's majority, Okay, 1 out of 10 people actually don't have what I'm talking about today. But that's 1 out of 10. 9 out of 10 come in and say, I want to get my thyroid fixed. I've been taking thyroid meds. We pull their panels and we go, you don't have a thyroid problem. You have Hashimoto's. It's an autoimmune disease. And here's how you solve this. And they go, no one's ever even told me this. 90 days later, either half meds. 6 months later, either off or again another half. It works. What is it? I hate to break this. It's an infection. Antibodies are produced when something is inside of your body that is driving a response of your immune system. Okay, so you catch a cold and you build antibodies and they attach to the cold and the body then gets rid of the cold. Okay, everybody's freaking out right now. How do I get my COVID antibodies up and the vaccines and antibodies? So if you have antibodies against your thyroid, you have to ask one simple question. Where on earth are they coming from? And they're because of an infection, either in your gut, your liver, or your thyroid itself. What causes these infections? Number 1, weakness to your immune system. 80% of that is in your intestines, so it's called dysbiosis, leaky gut. What causes that? You eating food you are sensitive to. Listen to what the research says. Most people that have a diagnostic leaky gut have thyroid conditions, and most of them have drastic improvements. Listen, drastic improvements in how they feel and labs when they get rid of gluten, that's bread and bread products, pastas, etc., cookies, cakes, crackers, bread, sugar, yes, sugar, dairy, corn, soy, vegetable oils like Wesson and canola and the sort, additives, so fake ingredients, and preservatives, which kind of makes sense. These harm your intestines and cause you to leak, and then here's now what happens. Would you agree with me that there's bad stuff in your stool, right? That's why God said, get that in the toilet. I don't know if he said that or not, but you get the idea. The crap comes out and goes into the toilets, not into your blood. So if you have a leaky gut, you'll reabsorb viruses, and it's disgusting. Parasites and bacteria and all kinds of stuff can get into the space between your intestines and your blood. I hope you realize if you have bacteria in your blood, that's a big problem. So it doesn't leak directly into your blood. It leaks into the space between your interstitial tissues, which is where your immune system sits. Thus, the reason why antibodies start forming like crazy. And if you have also infection in your thyroid, here's how it works. You have the infection leaky in the intestines. You leak into the interstitial spaces. Your body sees it and goes, oh my God, look, we got to protect this. Let's build some antibodies. And then, boom, the antibodies are now in your blood and they're flowing around. And if you have an infection in your thyroid, what it does is it goes, hey, look, the infection's there. If you have an infection in your liver, it goes there. If you have an infection in your intestines, it goes there. And that's called Hashimoto's if your thyroid's being affected. Nutrients are another huge issue, as is toxins, as is the fact you're probably deficient. So what we're going to do in just a moment is give you a true, real solution for this. What's the diet? What's the supplements? How do you manage this? And again, if you are looking for professional coaching on how to fix a thyroid, if you want to lose weight, get your hair thicken up, get your skin back, get your energy back, get your brain back, and you're taking Synthroid, Levothyroxine, Tyrosint, Armothroid, or Natrethroid, call me and I can help you get off of them. How can I do that? You're going to be the doctor. You're going to be the physician. 704-906-2094. The number, 704-906-2094. Call it now. Text it now. Name and email. And this is an offer that I'm only offering this week for free. You just got to pick up the phone. When we come back, the solution to autoimmune thyroid. And it's simple. You can do it in your own home. We'll see you guys in a second.
So this is the difference between biodynamic and conventional farming. Let's look at the difference in vineyards here. You have very green grass and herbs and life growing, and then dead soil over here. So this is a conventional vineyard where they spray pesticides, they use a lot of tractors to pull up the soil. This soil is dead, it's dry. There's no life. This is Klaus's vineyard. It's farmed biodynamically. Everything is picked by hand and they don't use any chemicals. So there's life, there's green grass, everything grows. This is the big disparity between conventional farming and biodynamic farming, and you can see it perfectly side by side. We prefer this wine, of course, because this wine is dead. There's nothing living in it.
Sterling believes in the science of CBD. Here's 3 great reasons to choose Sterling CBD. Reason number 1, Sterling is pure CBD. Sterling CBD is made from pure CBD isolate. We remove all the THC and unnecessary compounds, leaving only pure CBD. Reason number 2, backed by science. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, has approved CBD for U.S. Olympic athletes, but they only approve pure CBD, like Sterling CBD. Reason number 3, our organic hemp is FDA approved. At Sterling CBD, we quality control test at every manufacturing stage. We start with organic hemp plants and track them to our FDA-registered food-grade extraction facility. Our pure CBD products include capsules, isolates, lotions, and oils. We even have CBD pet products. You can find Sterling CBD at drernstscbd.com. Use the coupon code Dr. Ernst for 20% off your order.
What if we told you coffee was good for you?
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. More antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. Hey, you're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We're coming at you live, 11:10 a.m., 993 FM, WBT, and streaming on any channel we can stream on. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Parler's no more. Sorry, guys. We were, but we can't anymore. And honestly, the channels are the best way for you to connect with us. So we have our iTunes podcast. I mean, my God, there's like over a year. I think they now store a year's worth of content. You can look up condition-specific shows in the past. We have our channels. So I'm doing a broadcast through NBC, which you can find on youtube.com/AskDrErnst/NBC. We have the broadcasts we do here and all over the internet. So just connect with us, right? Basically, if you just go to Google now and just type Ask Dr. Ernst, all one word, AskDrErnst, man, it pulls everything up. That's pretty neat. When you get to the point where you can just type in one word and Google will find everything, that's when you know we have multiple platforms. We're getting great traction, and it's a good way for you to find answers. Show topic of the day, and this is the best part, right? This is always, we save the best for near the end. Here's how you actually fix it. Okay, we had to talk about what is it, what's causing it. Now, how do you fix it? Hashimoto's thyroid disease. It's the actual, true, real thyroid problem that most of you are dealing with if you have a thyroid issue, but it's not a thyroid problem. It's an autoimmune disease, and it's not even really an autoimmune disease. It's an infection, and it's, whoa, that was cool. And it's really not even an infection. It is the inability of your body to clear it by itself. So what's the root of roots of roots? Well, it's your immune system is weak. Because if your immune system was strong, you'd fight the infection. If you fight the infection, you have no antibodies. If you fight the antibodies, you have no autoimmunity. If you fight the autoimmunity, you have no Hashimoto's. If you have no Hashimoto's, you don't need your thyroid meds. You see it? So what do we do? Okay, step number one. We got to strengthen your reserves. We have to get rid of the infections. Viral infections have been found to be the leading cause of thyroid diseases, specifically Epstein-Barr virus. It's a nasty critter. Most of us have had it at some point in the past. Maybe you expressed it symptomatically as mononucleosis, you know, the whole college and kissing syndromes. Okay, but most of you didn't really fight it all off, and you still have it inside of you. It's also bacterial infections. Did you know, ready for this? Research was done that discovered a connection between H. pylori and a bacteria called Blastocystis hominis. It's a big one. And thyroid problems. So ulcers in your stomach, notice the stomach issues, thyroid problems. Epstein-Barr virus, thyroid problems. How do we get rid of viruses? Well, the problem is there's not a lot of antivirals out on the market. We have tons of antibacterials. The only antiviral I know of is against the flu virus, but that's not going to do anything for Epstein-Barr. So we have to do this naturally. Number one, get your gut fixed. 80% of your immune system's in your intestines. And I don't know if you guys just think it's me or if it just sounds like a broken record because I say it all the time. How do you solve all health issues? It all begins in your gut. Then it begins in your spine after that. Then it begins in your detox pathway. So it's gut-spine detox. Got it? Gut-spine detox. Dr. Ernst, I have cancer. What should I do? Gut-spine detox. I have diabetes. What should I do? Gut-spine detox. I have thyroid problems. What should I do? Gut-spine detox. I have psoriasis. Gut-spine detox. I have dandruff. Gut-spine detox. I have toenail fungus. Gut-spine detox. I have, you see, right? I mean, I can do it all day long. The difference is you're like, there's no way it can be that easy. You're like, seriously, doc, I've had this for 25 years. And my medical doctor is scratching their head. Well, they have dandruff, which means they have gut-spine detox issues. That's why they can't. That was a joke. It didn't really land that well. Okay. Fix your gut. You have to stop eating gluten. It is an absolute 1,000% requirement if you have a thyroid problem. No bread, pasta, wheat, crackers, cakes, cookies, none of it. But I like the way they taste. It's not going to help your thyroid. It has been shown in research if you can just do 90 days with no bread, no wheat, no corn, no rice, no soy, no oats, your thyroid will automatically start improving. So the idea is grainless. The grainless life. Gluten is one thing, but watch out for the other grains, which is rice and corn and oats. Get rid of them. Number 2, you need to start watching about how much sugar you use. Excess sugar can create inflammation, which shuts your immune system down. They have found out that if you just put a teaspoon of sugar, which is about the equivalent of 1 cube, Your white blood cells, listen, turn off for 4 hours. They go, oh man, there's so much sugar. We're just going to hang out until the sugar's dealt with. 4 hours, no immune responses through your white blood cells. So we got to get the wheat, the corn, the dairy, the rice, the soy, the oats, and the sugar out. How long? 90 days. What on earth am I supposed to eat? Anything but that. Anything you want, except for corn, dairy, rice, soy, wheat, oats, and sugar. What are some really good things to focus on? We call this the healing diet. You could call it a leaky gut diet. You could call it a Hashimoto's autoimmune thyroid diet. Call it whatever you want. Fresh fruits and vegetables. Fruits need to be remaining to only berries. Don't go out and think that I'm saying you can load up on grapes and nectarines and pears and plums and peaches and kumquats and whatever else you want to eat. Low glycemic fruits, berries, and all the fresh, real, living, live vegetables you can find. How do you know if a vegetable is alive? If you were to plant it in the ground and it's going to grow back again, it's alive, okay? Raw. Fish, specifically the small ones, like sardines and mackerel and anchovies and things like that, because they're high in EPA and DHA, which is required for normal thyroid function. Coconut oil, it kills down bacteria and viruses. Listen to this. It's going to sound weird. Seaweed and what I call the sea green vegetables like spirulina and chlorella, they help to actually boost the iodine responses. They detox the human body and they support conversion processes. Probiotic foods. So we have fermented foods, kefir. Why? I thought you said dairy. Well, it would be like coconut, not milk dairy. Coconut kefir, kimchi, kombucha, sauerkrauts, fermented vegetables, all fantastic. And make sure you also take a probiotic that is fermented and specifically soil-based is better. How do you know if it's soil-based? It'll say soil-based. It's that easy. It comes from the ground. Dirt. Should you eat dirt? Not directly, but you want the bacteria that's found in it. Bone broth. I've talked about it a bajillion times. Proline, glycine, amino acids, calcium, phosphorus. It has even silica that you can't find in other tissue or other broths and other nutrients. Exceptional for supplementing the intestines to help them to heal. What if we want to really start turning this thyroid now and go beyond just diet? Let's talk about alternative supplementation that isn't going to affect what you currently take. I'm not saying stop your thyroid meds and just go to this beautiful diet. Stay on your meds, do the diet, stay on your meds, do the supplements, get retested frequently, every 6, 8, 10 weeks, and guess what? You'll see that your thyroid levels are improving, which means you can decrease your medication under the guidance of a physician. Okay, like think about it, right? Just be smart. Get somebody to help you with it. I can help you with it, holistic doctors, etc. Your medical doctor is not going to do that, though. They're going to usually say, well, it looks good, so stay on your current ones. If I was going to take a supplement for my thyroid, number one, hands down, across the board, it would be selenium. Why? Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that if you take selenium, about 100 to 200 micrograms, 40% reduction in thyroid antibodies on the average compared to a 10% reduction in the placebo group. So if you can get a 40% reduction in your antibodies by taking selenium, do it now, especially if you have a thyroid problem. There's different types of selenium, so make sure you look into the right ones. There's too many to talk about right now. Today we have to do a whole show on selenium. Maybe we will. Vitamin D. 90% of people with thyroid problems are vitamin D deficient. Why? It's a master hormone. It helps you to convert your hormones, okay? Most of you are not taking enough vitamin D. I was talking to a patient the other day, and I said, how much vitamin D do you take? She goes, 600 micrograms. And I'm like, it's like for an infant, like day old, 1 day old. She goes, that's the RDA. And I'm like, okay, we have a lot to talk about. Most adults need 10,000, 15,000. Most of you don't even know what your D3 levels are. So if your D3 is uber low, you might need 40 or 50 or even 100,000. Take your vitamin D at least. No less than 5,000 if you're an adult. No less than 5,000. I like 10 or 15. Ashwagandha would be one I would use. Why? Well, the research shows it helps to convert T4 into T3, and that's what you need to have happen. You need the conversion to take place. Otherwise, the active doesn't ever get produced. It also helps with balancing overall hormone productivity of the thyroid. There's not just T4, there's 3 and 2 and 1. Nobody talks about 1 and 2, but they still exist. So you might need to get your levels tested. Other really good herbs: rhodiola, ginseng, maca, which is a simple additive to smoothies and things like that, and reishi mushrooms. Really good. B vitamins, I'm going to share you something. Most people with thyroid problems have B vitamin issues. They can't convert them, they can't absorb them, and they become deficient and weak. The best one for a thyroid is thiamine. 600 milligrams of thiamine once a day. Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine showed that within a matter of days, symptoms disappeared in those that have thyroid problems. So there you go. Supplements, diet, cause, effects, all for your thyroid. If you are looking, though, for professional help with your thyroid and you want to really turn it around fast and get your meds down, now's the opportunity. 704-906-2094. The call is free. The consult is 15 minutes, and let's find an answer. 704-906-2094. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'll see you guys next week. Until then.